welcome to April 27th. This will be a timeless reading for the sign of Taurus. Okay, we'll start off with the earth signs. Right off the hop, I have pulled out um, the Devil card um, with the Nine of Cups, um, with Temperance, and the Two of Pentacles. So immediately, I'm just feeling that there are a lot of personal emotions, fears, attachments um, that even that you're alchemizing at this time, um, and tempering and transmuting, um, so that what you bring down through that channel is something that's balanced um, and tangible, um, and that becomes, as opposed to a destructive energy, um, an energy that you can tangibly work with in a productive way. Um, so that could be things like transmuting fears or anxieties into excitement and passion, or boredom into curiosity and creativity. Um, so, looking at any kind of um, anything like this. So just taking any kind of um, energies from the polaring end of, destructive or hindering, to productive and constructive and conducive and a tangible energy that we can produce something with, at the very least, to neutralize it after processing it. um, so this is what I see for the month of May, or whenever it is that you're watching this. And yeah, just creating an energy flow, right? So for me, like when I was just doing some meditating yesterday, I kept seeing like these portals, um, um, these portals or these leaks being closed out, and I seen it as almost like a patchwork because there were quite a few, and I the way I was seeing it, it was coming through was like with like hide and sinew, almost like a drum, um, and it being sewn up, and it was like a patchwork, and then any energies that came through, that sounded through it would be transmuted to a different sound, so that it would be different on the one side of the portal that it was on the other as it came out. So I don't know if that made sense, but that's just kind of how I was seeing it. So this could definitely be a time of like closing out, and releasing and repairing any leaks, energy leaks, and portals, um, that you just want to repair and leave closed out. Um, so that's kind of what I was seeing. So let's just take a deeper look here. Um, on what else we can see coming through for May. So there's Cancer with Uranus in the 11th house. So the way that I'm seeing this, because we have Cancer, which has to do with the fourth house, um, today is also numerologically the number 4. Okay, so but Cancer in the fourth house, so that has to do with the home. It has to do with um, you know, nurturing, growing, um, protecting the home, the family, within the home, um, your immediate family. Um, with Uranus, and the 11th house. So the 11th house, then on the other end of that would be like community, would be the way that you're showing up um, in your community. Um, it could also be um, online, um, but in a broader perspective. And then so that's almost looking at like everything starts within the home, and then as we step out into the world, we kind of then face the world in the same way. Um, so everything starts with the self at home and with our immediate family and the people that we have in our immediate surroundings. And then that filters out into the broader community. We have Uranus, so it has to do with change. It has to do with boundaries and limits and pushing past those limits. It can be an uncomfortable energy. It is change for good or for bad, but it is also um, pushing boundaries, creating boundaries, um, and yeah. So that's kind of where the focus, it looks like, might be for this month for Taurus. Um, Definitely some breakthrough energy. And I'm also just seeing like blocked off like containers of like checkpoints. So moving kind of in these containers, or blocked out like increments, like sectioned out increments of like checkpoints. So how do you call that? Yeah, just kind of working through one section at a time as you go from the home to the outside world. Okay. Um, so let's just get some more on that. Just for the sake of this reading, I'm going to read Take Them Only Upright. Also, interestingly enough, because we have Cancer with also Uranus coming through, also we have, yeah, so Isis actually came through earlier, the primordial mother, and really all that she represents, like, goes by many names. She is nameless, but goes by many names. She is the all, the everything. And but she's often represented by I mean she can often be represented by like major winds and tornadoes, and like her wings creating these vortexes almost of energy that can be destructive, or they can also wrap you around and be very protective. So that is very much Uranus energy, um, along with Cancer, because we see Cancer as very like loving, very emotional, very supportive, very nurturing. But that mothering energy can also be very fierce, very fierce. Um, so let's just see, Daughter of Wands. For May, Ten of Cups. So I'm just immediately getting, for some of you, you could be just newly stepping into this energy, almost tentatively. This mothering energy. For some of you, you could be new mothers, or reintegrating back into your children's life or into family life, um, or stepping into a new role. Um, and just learning to become comfortable in that. The Father of Pentacles. Yeah, I see you being very happy. Right, we have the Lemscat twice here, the infinity symbol. I didn't even show you the card, sorry. So I'm just seeing almost like a seamless integration in this new role in your life with the Ace of Wands. It could have to do with work. It could have to do with just like finding this fire again. Um, um, See you being very emotionally fulfilled. Um, I see a level of vulnerability here, but definitely some experience. You're very experienced, very resourceful. Yeah, a lot of um, wisdom, knowledge, logic, um, and feeling very competent in that, and it transmuting, um, uh, uh, transferring well to to a balanced emotional state here. So this could be whether in the home or at work. Yeah, with the Judgment here. Some of you could be um, mending or amending a relationship with a father figure, or either your own father figure, or a boss, or say your children's father. Okay. Let's see. Can I get more on the Daughter of Wands with the Ace of Wands? I'm seeing a very balanced ecosystem here within the home space. Seven of Cups with the Eight of Cups. So some of you could have recently walked away or are revisiting um, uh, from, could have walked away from a relationship, um, a job, a situation, either way, and really took some time out, um, and are either revisiting some options, or you just walked away completely and, like I said, I had closed out some and tied up some loose ends. Two of Swords, yeah. Some of you may actually still be in this period of, because we have the Two of Pentacles, we have the Two of Swords, so it's like this balancing or kind of going back and forth, with the Two of Cups, yeah, and it could be to do with a relationship. Um, it just seems like there's a lot of confusion here. There's a lot of confusion and uncertainty, um, which may be why some of you have walked away, or um, with the Four of Swords and the Three of Swords. Yeah, so you could have recently walked away from a relationship, um, or a family situation dynamic or workplace dynamic that just was very confusing, and had no real solid foundation or anything to really anchor it down into. There was a lot of grief or hurt that recently, um, you've experienced, and I see you um, taking some time out to recover and rest from that. There's a lot of just a lot going on emotionally and mentally. Yeah, Three of Wands and the Five of Hearts. So see, some of you could be waiting for, I don't know, I'm just seeing almost like this limbo period. I see some grief and disappointment with the Five of Cups as well as the Three of Swords. So, um, but we have the Three of Wands, which means you do have, you do have um, an idea of what you want or where you're going, um, and it looks like you made certain preparations. You're just waiting for that opportunity to come now to make the next move. Um, yeah, Nine of Spades, King of Hearts. So there's a lot of stress right now. I do see that. So again, like this month will have a lot to do, like I mentioned earlier in the reading, a lot to do with, like, taking these kind of polaring energies that are on the, more negative or destructive um, um, end of the spectrum, and being able to transmute them and um, transmute them, process them, transmute them, and alchemize them into something more tangibly, um, something that's tangible that you can work with, that you can actually do something with, that's on the constructive side of things. So what is the advice here for Taurus? Yeah. um, Eight of Cups again. So to walk away from something, the Son of Pentacles. Um, yeah, there. Um, to walk away, but also not just to walk away. Like, what are you walking towards? Um, it's a slow process, right? Um, I see a lot of defensiveness here. So again, like, just really figuring out your parameters and your boundaries. Um, and seeking support, sure, but I do see just this really going within. This going within, just seeing where things need to be repaired, where these things need to be closed out, and these loose ends need to be tied up, and just doing that, and then just taking that sacred space and time. And because when we're in a Two of Swords energy, um, it's not necessarily a time to make choices. Oh, I just got a really like almost a nauseous feeling in my stomach. So yeah, let's see. Four of Pentacles and the Four of Cups in reverse. So the advice is to clean things out, close things out, throw things out, tie up those loose ends, and and look at them. Really look at them. See, with the Four of Cups in upright, it would be refusing to look at something. It would be boredom. It would be ignoring opportunities, choosing not to see things. But with it in reverse, you are able to look at these things and see them for what they are. Okay, this may have to do with your finances, may have to do with, just there might be just some certain ducks that you need to get in a row here. And it all just starts with making that decision. Um, so just seeing where you're at, and then you'll know the next steps to take. Yeah, justice with the Eight of Pentacles. So legally, if there's legally it might, like, there is justice coming in, whether this karmically, actually, legally, there are certain things that need to be put in place, written down, um, amended, or looked at with with a legal professional. Um, Definitely some clean out and repair that needs to happen in terms of your your work, your your physical, space boundaries, home. Just looks like there's a whole lot going on. Um, the first step would just be to really close those things out, tie up those loose ends, give yourself like an allotted amount of time or space, and then seek out a second opinion from there. Ace of Cups with the Strength, and now we have the Five of Cups in reverse. So yeah, there is something here about really, you know, like just returning to your own energy and your own space, um, and with a clear mind and a clear head, a good night's sleep, and and you'll be able to make some decisions that are not so um, rash. So you won't have so much, uncertainty or regrets later on. So just take it slow. There's no need to rush through, these big life changes like this, and just give yourself the time that you need. Yeah. Okay. So that's what I have for you. Um, all my love and blessings. Stay safe out there.